Looking at your phone, waiting for that Visa Bulletin update? Well, I've got news that's going to make millions of immigrants hold their breath. The U.S. immigration landscape just shifted dramatically, and if you're waiting for a green card or planning to file your H-1B petition, the next few minutes could save you thousands of dollars and months of waiting time. Welcome back to the channel where we break down complex immigration news into actionable insights that actually matter for your journey. I'm here today to walk you through two massive developments that dropped recently and are sending shockwaves through the immigration community. We're talking about the unexpected Visa Bulletin freeze and a critical H-1B fee deadline that's racing toward us faster than most people realize. Whether you're an H-1B holder, an employment-based green card applicant, or someone supporting a family member through the immigration process, what I'm about to share affects you directly. Let me start with the Visa Bulletin situation because this one caught everyone off guard. For those who might be new to this process, the Visa Bulletin is essentially the monthly report card that tells you where you stand in line for your green card. It's published by the Department of State, and it determines whether you can file your adjustment of status application or if you need to keep waiting. Think of it as the boarding pass system at an airport, except instead of boarding zones, we have priority dates and category cutoffs. Now here's what's happening. The latest Visa Bulletin has essentially frozen movement across multiple employment-based categories, particularly affecting India and China-born applicants in the EB2 and EB3 categories. We're seeing dates that have barely budged or in some cases moved backward, a phenomenon called retrogression that strikes fear into the hearts of anyone in the green card queue. For Indian nationals in the EB2 category, we're looking at priority dates stuck around early 2012, which means people who started this process over a decade ago are still waiting. The EB3 category for India shows similarly glacial movement, hovering around 2012 as well. This freeze isn't just frustrating, it has real-world implications for millions of people. We're talking about highly skilled professionals who've been living in the United States for years, contributing to the economy, paying taxes, starting families, buying homes, but living in a state of permanent uncertainty. Their children are aging out, meaning once they turn 21, they lose derivative status and have to get in their own immigration lines. Spouses on dependent visas often can't work, creating financial strain on families. And the career limitations are severe because changing jobs or even accepting promotions can be risky when you're tied to a specific employer through the green card sponsorship process. Why is this happening now? Several factors are converging simultaneously. First, there's been a massive backlog that's been building for years, exacerbated by pandemic-related processing delays. During 2020 and 2021, consulates shut down, interviews were canceled, and the entire system ground to a halt in many ways. Even though things have reopened, we never fully caught up with that backlog. Second, there's the per-country cap limitation, a policy that allocates the same number of green cards to every country regardless of demand. This means that countries with high demand, like India and China, face dramatically longer wait times than countries with lower demand. It's like having the same size checkout lane at a grocery store regardless of how many customers are waiting, creating massive disparities in wait times. Third, we're seeing increased demand as the economy has rebounded and companies are aggressively hiring international talent again. More labor certifications are being filed, more I-140 petitions are being approved, and everyone's flooding into the same limited pool of available green cards. The United States has a cap of approximately 140,000 employment-based green cards per year across all categories. And when you factor in family members who count against that cap, the actual number of primary applicants who can get green cards is even smaller. The emotional toll of this freeze cannot be overstated. I've heard from countless people in the community who've been watching these bulletins religiously every month, hoping for movement, planning their lives around potential date advancements, only to see stagnation month after month. Some have been waiting for 15 or even 20 years. Imagine putting your life on hold for that long, unable to make certain career moves, unable to start businesses easily, unable to travel freely without worry about re-entry. It's a mental health crisis that doesn't get talked about enough. Now let's shift gears to the second major development. If you're an employer or a prospective H-1B beneficiary planning for the fiscal year 2026 cap season, you need to pay very close attention because this impacts your wallet directly. The registration period for H-1B cap subject petitions is expected to open in early March 2025, and there's been significant confusion about the fee structure following recent regulatory changes. Here's what you need to know. The H-1B registration process requires employers to submit basic information about the company and the prospective employee electronically before being selected in the lottery. This system was implemented to streamline the process and reduce the burden of filing complete petitions for everyone when there's limited visa availability. However, recent fee increases and new fee categories have changed the landscape dramatically. Employers now need to budget for registration fees, base filing fees, fraud prevention fees, and potentially additional fees depending on company size and revenue. The critical deadline we're looking at is the registration period itself, which typically runs for about 2 to 3 weeks in early March. But here's the catch. You need to have your ducks in a row well before that period opens. This means having signed contracts, determining prevailing wages, confirming job duties and requirements, and most importantly, having the budget allocated for all associated fees. Some employers are looking at several $1,000s per petition when you add up all the costs, and for companies planning to register multiple candidates, this becomes a significant financial consideration. The fee structure has changed substantially compared to previous years. We're seeing increased scrutiny on company size and dependency ratios, meaning companies that have a high percentage of H-1B workers may face additional fees. This is designed to discourage outsourcing firms and body shops from dominating the H-1B program, but it also affects legitimate companies that happen to employ significant numbers of international workers. The additional fees for dependent employers can run into thousands of extra dollars per petition, making the total cost prohibitive for some smaller organizations. What makes this particularly urgent is that missing the registration deadline means waiting another entire year for the next filing season. The H-1B program operates on a fiscal year basis starting October 1st, so if you miss the March 2025 registration for fiscal year 2026, your next opportunity won't come until March 2026 for fiscal year 2027. That's a full year of lost opportunity, and for international students graduating in spring 2025 who are on OPT with limited time remaining, missing this deadline could mean having to leave the United States. For those already in H-1B status considering transfers or extensions, the fee changes also apply to you, though you're not subject to the cap and lottery process. Transfer petitions and extension petitions require similar fees, and premium processing fees have also increased if you need expedited adjudication. Many people don't realize that even though you're not in the lottery, staying compliant with H-1B requirements and timely filing extensions is crucial to maintaining legal status. The intersection of these two developments creates a perfect storm for immigration planning in 2025. You have people stuck in green card backlogs who need to maintain H-1B status indefinitely, which means repeated extensions with increasing costs. You have new applicants trying to enter the system through the lottery, facing higher fees and lower odds due to increased demand. And you have an overall system that's straining under the weight of decades of policy, stagnation, and lack of reform. So what can you do? First, if you're in the green card queue, document everything meticulously. Track your priority date, understand your category, monitor the Visa Bulletin monthly, and have backup plans for potential retrogression. Consider whether premium processing for various stages makes sense for your timeline. Explore alternative categories if eligible. Some people qualify for EB-1, which moves much faster, or national interest waivers in EB-2 that bypass labor certification. Second, if you're approaching the H-1B registration deadline, don't procrastinate. Work with your employer and immigration attorney now to prepare all documentation. Understand the total fee structure and confirm your employer has approved the budget. Have alternative plans ready in case you're not selected in the lottery, such as extending OPT through STEM extension, if applicable, or exploring other visa categories like O1 or L1. Third, stay informed and connected with the immigration community. Policies change rapidly, new guidance gets issued, and being plugged into reliable information sources can make the difference between catching an opportunity and missing it. The reality is that U.S. immigration in 2025 remains challenging, but knowledge is power. Understanding these developments allows you to plan strategically rather than react desperately when deadlines hit or opportunities arise. The Visa Bulletin freeze reminds us that this is a marathon, not a sprint, and pacing yourself emotionally and practically is essential for the long haul. The H-1B fee changes underscore that immigration is also increasingly expensive, and financial planning needs to be part of your overall strategy. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell because immigration updates happen frequently, and I'll be here breaking them down for you in plain language without the legal jargon that makes your head spin. Drop a comment below telling me how these changes affect your personal situation. Are you waiting in the green card backlog? Are you preparing for the H-1B lottery? Let's build a supportive community where we share experiences and strategies. And if you know someone navigating the U.S. immigration system right now, share this video with them because chances are they need this information and don't even know these changes are happening. Remember, immigration is complex, but you don't have to navigate it alone. Stay informed, stay prepared, and keep pushing forward toward your American dream because despite the obstacles, millions have walked this path successfully, and you can too. I'll see you in the next update, and until then, take care and keep your documents organized.